Have you ever questioned whether the people in your immediate vicinity are genuinely kind and friendly? Occasionally mask falsehoods and envy, but we frequently believe that we can identify those who are sincere with us, but it's not always the case in practice. Since basic jealousy and dishonesty can be concealed well, those who harbor these sensations, the most perilous picture of yourself, enjoying a significant career accomplishment with friends and co-workers. I'd like to congratulate you, but why do you think something is off? Someone in the group is concealing their jealousy behind their congratulations. Despite their smiles, their eyes convey a different message. These subdued yet effective indicators can alert you to the possibility of envy and dishonesty in the video I'll be sharing today. Offer you 10 useful techniques to spot deceit and jealousy. Others claim that these techniques are based on the insightful teachings of Stoic philosophy, which, having endured for thousands of years, will not only assist you manage your feelings and achieve mental calm, but they also offer resources to recognize and manage jealousy and dishonesty in other people. By using these guidelines, you will grow stronger and more prudent in the construction and upkeep of relationships. These techniques will shield you from poisonous partnerships and assist. Before the video begins, you create a life that is more content and calm. Here's a little task for you. Watch the video through to the end without missing any lectures. Since each one is essential to assisting you in maintaining your integrity and leading a complete and contented existence, kindly write a remark stating, "I am willing to show me that you're prepared to investigate the profound understanding of Stoicism by starting down trip below philosophy first. Take note of their watch how they act. Actions. One of the fundamental tenets of Stoic philosophy is the rejection of words, trust in deeds, since a person's deeds are the best indicator of words can be used to conceal or even openly manipulate their purpose and nature. Lied about, but when you see other people pay, the real story comes through. Pay attention to the inconsistencies in their behavior and words, even if they seem kind at first. Very encouraging in their words, but their deeds could convey a different message. For example, a colleague might commend you for your accomplishments while covertly undermining or disparaging your work. Behind your back, their words don't always reflect who they really are. Their actions do. Aims. Inquire of yourself. Have you ever had the impression that someone says just one thing? Yet, has anyone else ever come across someone who made a pledge to assist, but never? Upon these erratic behaviors, there are evident indications of insincerity, which, as Marcus Aurelius noted, might have its roots on jealousy. Spend no more time debating what makes a decent man. One's activities provide unquestionable proof of their genuine nature. Take into consideration an illustration of a friend who consistently promises to support you, but then vanishes. When you encounter challenges, this behavior demonstrates dishonesty and unreliability. It's these behaviors that more clearly show a person's actual character, more than any words could possibly say. Try seeing how people act. When they believe no one is looking, or that there is nothing at risk, they will probably acquire understanding of their actual nature. This is essential to telling genuine objectives from people who mask their words with sweetness. By emphasizing deeds rather than phrases, we acquire to more fully understand the breadth of a person's character. Building exercises not only enable us to discern our friends' genuine selves and associates, but Al also exhorts us to consider our own actions. Keep in mind, our actions, not just our words, define who we are. Say number 2, assess how they react to consider how they reacted to your achievement. Success in daily life, people's responses to your accomplishments show their envious people frequently exhibit their actual feelings and are unable to conceal when they feel uncomfortable with others' success. They could attempt to discredit your accomplishments with unjustified criticism or feigned happiness while holding grudges, which not only damages relationships but also reveals the more sinister sides of their personalities. There's a proverb that says, only the person you were yesterday is the one you should strive to become better than. Someone who genuinely values and encourages you will be pleased to see you succeed, because they are aware that every accomplishment you make is a step toward your goal of. Conversely, people who are against you will interpret your achievement as a threat or evidence that they are deficient in some way. Not working hard enough. Consider the last instance in which you accomplished something noteworthy. How did those around you respond? When individuals close to you reply, you'll be able to tell who's being sincere, and supportive people will share your happiness and applaud your wisdom based on their responses. Accomplishments pleased for you as a result of your diligence in their feedback is frequently uplifting, supportive, and devoid of. Conversely, envious or dishonest persons will attempt to minimize or dispute your accomplishments. They could fabricate tales and make unjustified criticism, or even try to undermine your achievements. They could make subtly comments or minimize your achievements, thinking that your success was an accident and disputing your endeavors. So what should you do if you discover that someone in your life is envious and dishonest? Will you confront them or stay away to keep yourself safe? Keep in mind that the Stoic philosophy teaches us to let go of things we are unable to control, concentrate on improving yourself and establishing genuine connections rather than becoming entangled in a cycle of envy, and we can determine someone's honesty by more than just seeing how they respond to lies. Your achievement, as well as by the way they handle others with less status. Now, let's go on to the third lesson. In the third lesson, see how they take note of how they deal with people who are unable to help them. Engage with those who cannot help them. The Stoic school of thought teaches us that everyone deserves our respect and care, but especially those who are less fortunate or powerful. A noble soul never despises anyone. We should consider the authenticity of others' acts when we witness how they treat people with less status. Regardless of their position of authority or everyday status, kind people treat everyone with respect and kindness. They see the intrinsic worth in every individual, notwithstanding their role. Whether speaking with a nation's prime minister or a service employee, they uphold an authentic and courteous attitude. On the other hand, jealous and dishonest people frequently display kindness only in situations where it is advantageous or when it is supervision. They have a propensity to hate and treat people badly who are unimportant to them, displaying rudeness and haughtiness if someone's attitude toward the way that those without authority view those in positions of power is very different from cautious, envious and dishonest people frequently show their true selves when addressing those who are vulnerable, such as a co-worker who is constantly kind to their superiors, yet domineering and disrespectful to service personnel or others with less rank. This is an indication of dishonesty and jealousy. They value power and personal relationships over people, behaviors that show their genuine selves and insecurities, such as hobbies. Seeing how others handle those with pettiness in their souls of lesser rank also enables you to consider your own actions and how can you treat those who are vulnerable by identifying and correcting any mistakes in your actions. Assist you develop into a true Stoic by always keeping in mind how the way you handle those with less rank reflects their genuine nature. Are you willing to pay attention to and find such individuals, practice this technique in your day-to-day activities, and observe the fourth change? Differentiate between commendation and tell the difference between flattery and praise. Excessive flattery is an obvious indicator of dishonesty and jealousy, which many sincere compliments are usually ignored. yet they are always beneficial, but you should use caution when they cross reasonable bounds, because it's not what other people say. What really important about you, but what you consider your sense of value, shouldn't be derived from other people's praise of you. In particular, do those compliments truly come from the heart when they don't? Compare to your accomplishments when you're getting too much praise. Ask yourself, excessive flattery is typically a symptom of someone trying to take advantage of you. Does this person have a goal? Insincerity. The user can be attempting to cover up their jealousy or take benefit of you. Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius penned in Meditations, "It's not about your circumstances, however. It's how you respond to it that counts. Even while getting compliments can be fulfilling. But what if such remarks have malicious intent? Too much praise can diminish, weaken defenses, and leave you vulnerable to deceit. So instead of learn to assess honest praises before becoming carried away by them. Objectively adhere to your basic principles. Don't allow flattery to distort your judgment. One excellent example is in the workplace, where you may observe that some colleagues may compliment you frequently, but they never lend a helping hand when you need it. In front of everyone, be kind and complimentary, but offer criticism or remarks feeling bad about you behind your back. Acknowledging and addressing overly flattering others might shield you from phony and envious individuals. Inspires you to lead a more genuine life. Constantly be aware of the intentions behind praises, and always believe in yourself. Tell yourself how valuable you are, and use Stoic wisdom to maintain your integrity with the people you are forming, ties with genuineness and regard for one another. Have you ever been in a circumstance when you were excessively flattered? How did you respond and feel? Tell us about yourself in your experiences are much appreciated in the comments section below, since it helps us rank 5th. Keep an eye on consistency. Consistency in assessing an individual. Consider their actions and demeanor in various circumstances. Check to see if their words and deeds correspond. Is challenging Stoic philosophy invites us to evaluate if individuals' actions corresponds with their declared opinions and convictions over time. This is a useful method to identify those that are envious and dishonest while assessing someone. See how they behave in different circumstances to see if they adhere to their beliefs and ideals regularly, or do they alter their mindsets and ways of acting to fit their situations or individual objectives. A spiteful and envious individual frequently are unable to keep up this constancy, making them seem amiable and genuine when they confront those they need to exploit, but they turn icy and imply that when those individuals are no longer helpful to them. For example, a person may say to show everyone that you are serious in your appreciation, but then voice grievances about your achievement behind your back. You may observe odd behaviors when they provide praise. When you see an abnormality, this happens repeatedly rather than just once. Take your time and observe more to determine whether actions align with words before passing judgment. Are a pattern? It's important to determine if these are lone instances or if they exhibit a fully consistent pattern. Where is the consistency in their actions? Changing your appearance when you're not around is an obvious indication of deceit and envy. Observing how they treat others with sincerity is another technique to determine consistency. Person will not discriminate and will treat everyone equally and with respect. They won't favor one person and disregard another based solely on personal preferences. Increase in behavior consistency is a sign of someone's sincerity, and be honest with yourself. Can you identify a spouse who is being suspicious? Do others in your immediate vicinity regularly uphold their morals and beliefs under all circumstances? If the response is negative, exercise caution, since these individuals might be hiding. We've come halfway through our adventure with falsehoods and jealousy. We appreciate your presence today and your support, which gives us much encouragement to bring the please like and share this video to help more people learn about the true values of Stoic philosophy. To share these teachings with your loved ones and friends in an effort to create a more contented and tranquil world. Please leave a remark letting us know that you always pay close attention. Prepared to go from a Stoic to a vibrant state in order to complete the remaining 5 Lesson 6. Take note of their demeanor while examine their reaction to criticism. Questioned, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, once stated that I will if someone can prove to me that what I believe or do is incorrect. Gladly shift since I pursue the truth, which has never caused harm to anyone. It is the someone who keeps up their ignorance and self-deception who is harmed. This quote highlights how genuinely intelligent and sincere people are always receptive to receiving helpful feedback. Since when chastised, a Stoic person's ultimate purpose is truth and self-improvement. Considers it as a chance for personal growth as opposed to a danger to their self-esteem. On the other hand, persons who are envious and dishonest frequently react badly, and when faced with criticism, they have a tendency to respond angrily. This response is a result of anxiety. It may be to correct others or even try to discredit the critic. Have you ever seen someone afraid to show their true colors or reluctant to acknowledge their shortcomings? When a co-worker or acquaintance is reprimanded and becomes defensive or furious, it could be an indication that they are concealing fears and low self-esteem. Let's use a nice example. A genuine leader will pay attention to and thoughtfully address criticism from workers, realizing that this fosters their personal development and builds a productive and pleasant work atmosphere, as opposed to a dishonest and a jealous boss could disregard or even discipline staff members who voice criticism of them. A tense and fearful environment. Ask yourself one last time, when you received criticism, how did you respond? Were you receptive to it, considering what was spoken, or did you attempt to dispute and justify it right away? Before we move on to lesson number, your response can provide you and those around you some insight. 7. May I ask you a question? Do you know someone who is always passing judgment, compares itself to others? If so, it may be time to reconsider your relationship with them. In lesson number, let's learn out 7. Pay close attention to that number 7. Pay close attention to inadvertent comparisons. Unintentional comparisons are something we frequently come into in our daily lives. Comparisons. These remarks might be more than just innocuous words. They can also be indicators of underlying jealousy and Stoicism's definition of dishonesty. Hearing and comprehending these parallels is one useful technique to spot envious and dishonest people. People may disclose when they unintentionally compare you to others. These comparisons, which are more about them than about you, frequently result from a source of unease and envy. For instance, if someone is always comparing your accomplishment to other people's, it could mean that they feel those that regularly compare you to others may be attempting to intimidate you because of your development, reduce your worth, causing you to feel insufficient and unworthy. This conduct frequently serves as a cover for their fears and fosters an delusion of their own supremacy. They see a particular, suppose you reach a major career milestone, but instead of wishing you luck, a co-worker remarks, "That's great, but I believe John is still better." This is not merely a light-hearted analogy, but an indication of jealousy. Your co-worker may be attempting to take advantage of your achievement out of envy. Minimize it while listening to unintentional comparisons helps you determine who is truly there for you. True friends don't feel the need to measure you against others in order to justify their respect or love, for they value you for who you are. not for what you are in relation to anyone else. Else consider who in your life frequently causes unintentional. When you hear harsh comparisons, do you really trust them? How does the Stoic philosophy encourage us to perceive comparisons? As outside variables that are not under our control, this distinction makes it possible for us to: do you concur that maintaining our inner tranquility is important? Viewpoint, if any, similar to the video. If not, leave a remark below so that we can talk about it and see if there's more. Surface 8. Give careful consideration to their observe how they respond to individual setbacks. Responses to one's own shortcomings. Stoicism teaches that is an indication of maturity and patience, as well as a direct mirror of a person's genuine intentions and character, must be powerful and sincere. People accept defeat with humility and an openness to absorb its lessons. Blunders they recognize that life will inevitably involve failure, and it offers chances for development and self-improvement. They take no responsibility for others, rather than trying to cover up their mistakes. They acknowledge and make an effort to better. These are the individuals you can rely on and respect, but they can also be envious and dishonest. People respond to failure in many diverse ways. Some seek outside assistance, justifications for their shortcomings, attributing blame to external factors or circumstances. Instead of looking to improve from their mistakes, they try to cover up and justify their behavior. Have you ever encountered people that defame others or fabricate tales to stroke their egos? Someone who, in the event of difficulty, consistently places the blame elsewhere? If so, have you thought that this could indicate jealousy and dishonesty? In order to identify this more accurately, observe these indicators. When they falter, do they acknowledge their errors? Are they prepared to adapt and grow, or do they try to avoid accountability and blame? Others that are honest will not be reluctant to own up to their errors and work toward being better, but a dishonest individual will always shield their ego and stay away from truth. Daku Ikada once highlighted that the essence of a person is unveiled. This quotation aptly captures the moments of greatest struggle. The Stoic philosophy's spirit serves as a reminder of how an individual responds to failure, reveals a great deal about a person. Take the time to pay close attention. The way those around you respond to their setbacks shouldn't be misconstrued by flimsy rhetoric or actions. If yes, please share your experiences if they are comparable to what I've described. Enjoy the video and share your insightful experiences in the comments section below. Hear from you at position 9. Assess their sharing. Consider their sharing of personal data. Personal details. Marcus Aurelius famously remarked that the soul takes on the hue of thoughts. An individual's information-sharing style not only conveys their inner reflections, but also provides a clear illustration of their genuineness or deceitfulness. The Stoic philosophy suggests that we pay attention to how someone discusses. An honest individual will relate their triumphs and setbacks, modestly highlighting the insights gained from their experiences. On the other hand, a dishonest people frequently overstate or even make up their accomplishments in order to impress and control others. Thus, we should consider whether this individual seems too enamored with their achievements. Do they focus on insignificant things to enhance their reputation, in addition to assessing how they speaking about their mistakes is essential? A real, sincere person won't think twice about doing so. Unlike a dishonest individual, they will own up to their mistakes and share the lessons they learnt from them. Prefers to avoid talking about failures, or when they do, places the blame on outside factors or other forces rather than accepting accountability. This is an obvious indication of jealous people's insincerity and inner instability. Frequently spread sensitive details about other people that they might divulge secrets to with malice trusted to them, or even falsify and exaggerate the facts in order to others. When someone disseminates inaccurate or unfavorable information, they're attempting to alter the views of others and produce chaos that mirrors their own vulnerabilities and anxieties in casual communication. Keep an eye out for these indicators. Does the individual speak a lot? Do they frequently compare themselves to others in an attempt to improve their own status? These comments go beyond being petty schemes. In addition to jealousy expressing words and a perverted soul, as we develop heightened awareness of these indicators, it will be, if something causes you to halt, it will be simpler for us to defend our spirits from harmful influences. And consider, don't be afraid to ask questions. This brings us to the conclusion, Lesson 10. Pay attention to your inner voice. Have you ever had this experience? Pay attention to your inner voice. Circumstances. You have a co-worker that consistently seems amiable and ready to assistance, but you never feel at ease with them in their presence. If the response, yes, pause and pay attention to your inner guidance. This may indicate that your instincts are alerting you to potential jealousy or dishonesty from that person. Consider instances in which you felt uneasy or distrustful of someone. Without a specific explanation, your instincts are at work. Your instincts, or sixth sense, are extremely important for safeguarding you against possible threats. If you sense something is amiss, give it some critical thought. Think on the circumstances. Does this individual often try to outdo you, or do they frequently give? Sometimes these little gestures, like fake compliments, might be a sign of dishonesty and envy. Therefore, one thing to consider is, why do I feel uneasy in their presence? If the solution is in their inconsistent actions, and language could be a red flag from your intuition. Take into consideration a scenario in which a co-worker is consistently cordial and worried about you, yet you nevertheless feeling nervous in their presence. Pay attention to the little things you might have missed. Maybe they constantly make subtle remarks about other people and compare themselves to you. Failures, even when they don't come at you directly, seem to have an underlying competition in this situation. Your gut is warning you of feelings of envy and deception. Your inner voice is a wonderful instrument that can aid. Never undervalue it. You can tell the difference between folks who are acting good and those who aren't. But even though you should listen to your inner voice, don't discount the voice of rationalize, both to identify a common ground and make judgments after careful consideration. Taking into account your instincts that detect jealousy and final verdict. Although lying is difficult, it's a necessary ability to safeguard our genuine self. Principles in life, envious and dishonest individuals might be anywhere from intimate partnerships to regular social exchanges. Despite their seeming friendship, they are actually covertly seducing one another. Conflict and uncertainty, Stoic philosophy directs us to. By putting Stoic ideals into practice, we may recognize and eradicate bad things in our lives. Keep in mind that life is too valuable to be spent on individuals who don't genuinely encourage you. Using the strategies we've covered, try to recognize and stay away from those who are envious and deceit. You merit a happy, peaceful, and optimistic existence. Relationships. I appreciate you taking the time to view this video. Should you discover, if you find these techniques helpful, please spread the word to your loved ones to help create an improved life together. Remember to hit like and subscribe, making sure that you don't miss out on any more insightful stuff from us. Push yourself to utilize at least one of these tactics in your day-to-day activities, then return here and add an "I did it" comment expressing how you feel about the changes in your life. I'm always available to you for conversation and listening. Make Stoic philosophy your buddy assistance in finding strength and serenity during your life's journey.